This is Vikings United, your ultimate destination for everything Minnesota Vikings. Bringing together the most passionate fans, insightful analysts, and dynamic creators from across Skol Nation. Get ready for deep dives, spirited debates, and exclusive insights from Coach Cody. We're celebrating our community, honoring our heroes, and fueling your fandom with Pillars of Valor coffee. This is more than a show. It's a movement. This is Vikings United.
Handy.
Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. I'm representing Skol, the gang, you know the name. It's a Minnesota thing. Put that on the purple blood that's running through these golden veins. Hail, sleet, snow, or rain, regardless, we gon' go to games. $1 billion stadium on Sundays, they don't close the bank. Fail, rarely get your tail buried. If it's JJ to JJ on Hail Marys, I'm like Aaron Jones, I see the field clearly. Gain 150 yards off of 12 carries and 2 tugs. That's how you crack a can of ice cold whoop ass on the Packers fan. Downtown Minneapolis, we pack the stands and put our hands above our heads when we clap our hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. Now clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. I said clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. If you from Minnesota, let me know. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota notice. I'm known to Skol and then blow the coldest and Skol until I got scoliosis. So when we so ferocious. So just know, just way before 84 was the dopest. We showed you who the purple and the gold is. If you from Minnesota, let me know. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota. And gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla.
Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. I am your host, Bubba Startz. You are here tonight for Vikings United. I am back on the scene and with my guys. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Big B. What's happening, B? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you, too. I can't wait to hear about the trip. A little hardware I saw, but, man, it was good. It was hard to fill your shoes on your show. I thought I did good. But, hey, glad to have you back. Glad to be talking some football and, you know, maybe a couple wrestling matches that fell out over the week. So
I think we got some fight companion on the show today. We are joined, as always, by Coach Cody, slamming them down.
Yeah. How we doing, fellas? Good to see you, Bubba. Glad to have you back. Big B, you did an amazing job in his absence. I couldn't have done it without you, that's for sure. So way to hold it down. But Bubba, Glad to have you back, and congratulations on a successful weekend. Looks like we all had a successful one all the way around.
Yeah. B got trapped at the hotel for 4 days. Cody came and dug him out. Also picked up game of the season, regular season, number 1, right? That was the first regular season game, correct?
Correct.
And we brought home a couple of big awards. So here, I know B wants.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it. We got it. We got it.
We got freshies, boys.
Those are nice.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, man. These mean a lot to me. The Midwest Music Contributor one was a huge one because it's a recognition of what it's not necessarily a lifetime achievement award, but it's definitely a last 2 years of my life achievement award. And the podcast of the year, man, this is a team effort, right? This isn't just one person. I know I've put a lot of effort into this before everyone got here, but this is a team, and we're here to rule together, man. So appreciated being able to go out to Detroit, accept those awards in person, and hand out a couple more as well. It was a great time in Detroit, and then 2 more weeks on the road. I just got home last night about 11:30. 18 days on the road straight, over 5,500 miles traveled. Yeah, man, that's doing it big time. And then
if I recall too, there were some dishes waiting for you too from last week. I think the wife was telling us.
You know what? She actually had all the dishes done before I got home. What a woman. And she got check this thing out, man. I got a headrest and everything now.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm made in the shade, man. Yep, I got life so good right now. It's not even funny. The tour went great. We had some really awesome showcases. Sorry, my cat's going nuts here. You're seeing her tail in and out, but I'm not even trying to stop her. Somebody missed her daddy too. So yeah, man, really incredible to go out and to capture that much content in such a short amount of time, right? I think we had 8 showcases with, at least 1, usually 2 or more people per thing. So we did over 20 independent showcases with independent artists and doing what the Scene Projects does. Got to get in a little golf, got a round in while I was down in Texas, and the weather was beautiful. Yeah, man, it was all good, man. All good.
That's good. That's good to hear. Glad you're back. Glad you guys all had a safe time. Maybe next year we got a couple more companions to ride with you, so.
That's right. Hey, man, the Suburban's a big ride, man, and I got a trailer we can pull behind it as long as somebody's footing the gas bill. I need to lease my trailer to Coach for all the equipment so they can fit more in the van. Well, I wasn't the only one with an exciting weekend, and we're going to get some color commentary from your guys who are in the background with us as well, Coach. But I think we're all interested to know. We obviously, we talked about you getting the big dub, 1-0 on the regular season right now with the Wyoming Cavalry. But we had some extracurriculars that ended the game a little bit early. I'm going to let you kind of deliver the backstory, and then we're going to bring your guys in here to get some color along with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, so we played the Cedar Rapids Titans this past weekend, last Friday, down in Cedar Rapids, and it was an intense game from the start, even from before starting before kickoff. There's always going to be some jaw jacking, but this time it was a little bit more than just just a playful jaw jacking. It was a line stepping over boundaries and stuff like that. And so, I told our players at the beginning of the game and at halftime, like, hey, we just got to knock off a little bit of rust. When we do, we're going to be going for throats. Teams get mad at this. And so, keep your composure. I couldn't stress that enough. Keep your composure. It was an offensive struggle. for both teams. Our offense couldn't get it together, to start that game. At the end of the first quarter, it was 0-0. And then second quarter is when kind of all the scoring started happening. We fell behind 12-0 right off the rip. Defense just got put in tough positions, starting with a small field all the time. But they're really good at bending, not breaking, and coming up with big plays when we need it the most. We had a missed PAT and a blocked PAT to help it get to 12. And then our defense came up with a huge defensive stop to give our offense a very, very short field. I called a timeout with like 14 seconds to go. That way we could at least get, 2 plays on offense. We still had 2 timeouts left. So it wasn't, we weren't worried about that. We come out with the QB sneak, get the 2-point conversion. We're into halftime, 12-8. And then that's where I told them, I was like, all right, now we're starting to get our groove. Let's get out there. Second half, we've always been a second half team, throughout the years. And right away, my boy Bo Butler comes out, takes that kickoff return all the way to the house. And that ended up being the deciding score. And then the ensuing kickoff, we had a penalty. It was a 15-yard penalty. They had like 1, maybe 2 plays on offense, and it was a short pass to the left side of the field, kind of by our like sideline, I guess, our sideline area. And I didn't see exactly what happened. I heard that a coach thought that there was a late hit. I didn't see that, but I'm on the field, far side, and I'm looking at the coach the whole time because he was on one for a little bit, and I saw him shake that pole, say something. I come out a couple feet, and I'm like, calm down. Walk around. I look back, and I see him coming from his sideline area around the curtain behind the DJ announcer into our bench area and start throwing hands on the owner of our team. And then that's when, once hands are thrown, people are hopping over the walls, and it's mayhem from there. But all
bets are off once punches start flying on the football field.
Yeah.
It's an emotional game to begin with, but once people start laying hands on other people, especially someone who's not even in the game, it was just a wild scene watching the video. I want to bring your guys in. We got Ty and Brad here with us as well. I'm gonna bring them in.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, Ty. I know you're muted right now. Brad, I'm gonna bring you in too. I don't know if I can unmute. You'll have to unmute yourself, Ty. I can't do it. There you go. You're good. Welcome in, fellas. What a wild scene here. Obviously, just kind of had Coach set the stage for us. Were you guys on the field or in the on the sidelines when this took? And Brad, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, so I was on the sideline for that play, and I was about halfway down the bench, saw the stuff happening on the field, and I couldn't even really fully see because it was right up against the wall, and I just saw that, their guy caught the ball, got hit hard into the wall. I think his helmet came off, and, there was a little bit of pushing and shoving. I think our owner tried to help de-escalate the situation, and that's what set their coach off. He saw it a different way, felt different about it. And then, just looking back to the field, and then I just remember looking back and seeing their coach walk through the curtain, and I was like, that was weird. But he was just walking. It wasn't like he was running or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, he just comes right up behind our owner and just starts throwing haymakers. And I think he got like 1 or 2 in before our guy kind of took over and put him in his place. But then, yeah, it was just a crazy scene from there. Obviously, you had guys getting into it. I went to set my helmet down and like try to help pull some people out, and I see a sea of blue jerseys just coming over the wall from the field. Thankfully, all of those guys, for whatever reason, it wasn't those guys. It was the other guys that came from around, on the other side that were getting involved in the fight. Because I went up to those guys and they were like, "Hey, man, we're just trying to get our guys out of here." But yeah, so while that's happening on that side, you got the people behind the curtain and all, curtains are falling down, structures are falling down, people are, fighting and all that. And it was just not what you want in a professional game. It wasn't professional at all. I've now seen everything in football, I guess. I've never seen a coach come from, one bench to the other to fight anybody. Seen a lot of crazy stuff in semi-pro football, but nothing like that.
Yeah, that's wild. I would try to get Ty back in here. Ty, can you hear me now?
I don't think I can. I can't hear you at the moment.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why he can't hear. Can you hear Cody? Cody, talk to your boy.
Yo, Ty, you hear me? Take out them AirPods, man. All right. I'll get them.
Yeah, it probably is the AirPods. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, I'll get them.
So, Coach, you're on the field. You're pointing and trying to calm the people down. Leading up to that moment, it sounds like it was a battle between both teams. Was it that hit, that play that caused it, or was it the jaw jacking between the two teams that might have got the coach up in arms? From your vantage point, when did you notice the coach was on his way over to your guys' side?
No. Oh man. All right. I literally saw, like, in the video, you can see him kind of like do one of these and then shake the pole. I'm watching this whole thing go down, and then he, like, just before he throws his hands down and turns around, I pop up. I'm like, calm down.
Nope.
And then I literally am watching him this whole time going around.
Oh, he was on your right side. Okay.
Yep. I had the whole vantage point, and it just happened so quickly. And like Brad said, once one dude goes over the wall, everybody's going over that wall, and it sucks for us because you don't know, because everyone's going over that wall so aggressive, and it's just one hop over that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know exactly who's there to break up the fight and who's there to get some work. It just sucks because, like, we had in a VIP area right next to us a Boy Scout leader and his, like, Cub Scouts, like at least 15 of them right there. We had. What
was their reaction? Were they hype?
Actually, I didn't catch their reaction. They're probably like, "Oh crap!" But we had one of our players. His son was chilling with us just because we didn't really have fans there that could watch him. So he was chilling there, and I look over there. And during the middle of it, he's got his phone out and he's like, "Oh!"
That's the angle I was watching. I saw.
He's like, "I'm like that. Look at what y'all are doing compared to what I'm doing. Look at this." He got front row seats. So, but it just sucks that had to happen. It was literally starting up, like I said, before kickoff. Before the game even started, we had players of ours. Like, I can't tell you enough how proud I am of my players for them keeping their composure, because they're getting helmet to the side. You know what I'm saying? Helmet to helmet. They're getting face masks, and I know it sucks, and I know that they hate when I tell them this, but just talk to the ref, talk to us. We'll talk to the ref. And, hopefully we can make stuff happen. And, just for them to respond the way they did when we see a sea of blue coming over the walls, I got to throw it out to him, give him a big shout out. Obviously, from the suspensions and disciplinary actions handed down, my team did a very, very nice job.
Yeah, Ty, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
There we
Sorry
go.
about that.
Yeah, take out the AirPods, Ty.
Nah, I can hear everybody but him when I had the AirPods in, man.
Yeah, it's sometimes, man, technology always works when you don't need it and never works when you need it to. So Ty, where were you at when all this was going down? Are you on the bench with Brad or are you out on the field?
So I was actually a part of the tackle on that play. So when we tackled him into the wall, yeah. So when we tackled him into the wall, his helmet came off in the middle of the play. So it's kind of, he was pushing back a little bit. We were pushing on him as his helmet's off, the play's over with, and then it's just a bunch of hands all in the area, and we're all starting to walk away, get back on the field, and you just turn around and you start seeing everybody's going crazy, yelling on the sideline. I jumped over the wall and I'm going instantly for my teammates to pull everybody back because we've already had one fighting situation, game one. We don't need anything else to continue for ourselves. So, I mean, I'm looking for teammates and stuff. We got 3 guys on top of it. We got 3 Cedar Rapid guys on top of one of our players. You got another Cedar Rapid guy trying to slam one of our players and stuff. And it's a bunch of pushing and shoving, going back and forth. And like Cody said, I hate it for the fans. I hate it for the little kids that are, that's why we're doing it as well, as for the fans and the little kids. And just to know that, like Brad said, nothing was professional from the beginning of the game, where they're trying to argue about us eating and stuff like that before the game, pregame meal, and we're chirping back and forth, walking between the locker rooms, since the locker rooms are, like this, right next to each other. So you're gonna have some beef and bumping heads before the game. When we got on the field, first quarter or second quarter, you had 2 ejections, one on each side, a corner and a receiver, and so it kind of got more chippy from there. We were all going back and forth, helmet pushing each other, and if you go back and watch the film of the game, you can see that some of this stuff is happening in front of the refs, and they're letting it happen without calling it.
So this isn't an isolated incident at this. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back finally with their coach, with the player's helmet coming off. But it sounds like you guys were kind of getting the brunt of a lot of the the physical nature of it for most of the game. And at the one point where I guess it's perceived, I mean, it's hard. It's arena football. Guys get tackled into the wall. Guy doesn't have his helmet strapped on properly. It comes off. Now that seems like that was kind of taken out of the context of the play itself and looked at more of over the course of this whole thing by their coach, and just a complete overreaction. I mean, just uncalled for. It's unprofessional. It's irresponsible. It's
true. Like I told the guys at halftime, they can't beat us playing football. They're gonna have to start doing something else another way. Like Cody said, yes, it was a slow game starting off for both offenses. At the end of the first quarter, it's 0-0. Second quarter, they step up, make a little plays, couple plays, they go up 12-0. But right before halftime, shoot, I made a sack on the 1 yard line that helps our offense get that, and that's where momentum changes the whole game right there. They weren't going to beat us from there. Our defense, like you said, is stout. We are bend, don't break defense. We continue to talk with each other, communicate, and it got to more where it's not football. They're not going to be able to beat us between the lines. They're going to have to do something to get one of us out the game, do something to where, we're losing our players or teammates, and that's just how I see, they couldn't beat us between the lines. We would love to play them again.
Now, Ty, and I guess this is kind of for everyone out. Do you feel like your reputation now preceding you with the big win against CNY and the way that you guys played, and just kind of having this reputation as a really good football team, that people are preparing, knowing that talent-wise they probably can't measure up, so they're looking for anything to try and make a way?
Yeah. I'll take it. So yes, I have full faith in my team. I have full faith in the players. Obviously, if I don't have faith in you, you're not gonna be even on the team. And these guys can vouch for me on that. I don't mess around. But it's the fact that these guys are dogs. I tell them all the time, I'm like, when we were down 12-0, like it didn't feel you guys can comment on this. It didn't feel like we were down 12-0. It felt like a close game all the way through. We never feel like a panic mode, honestly. And this has happened maybe like 2 or 3 times, but we don't really panic until we're 4 scores down. 3
Right.
scores.
Well, in arena football, it's a small field, and points can happen really fast. Right.
Yep.
So
And
2 scores isn't what it is in the NFL, where you have 80 to 100 yards down the field to go at a time. Points come in bunches in this league.
The only thing is that you got that running clock. And I will say, I'm so glad that I looked up. I knew that it was 1 minute warning, and then the flow of the game kind of got me. I look up after Tyree's huge sack. I look up, and it was like 17 seconds up, and I was like, "Oh crap, we still got all 3 of our timeouts." Like, look, we still got time to score, at least do 2 plays. But I have complete faith in these guys. They know what kind of players they are. They know, as long as they stick to each other, trust each other, that we can get ourselves out of any hole. I don't want to put blame on the refs per se, just because I'm an official as well in my spare time when I do have spare time. But we were told at the beginning of the game, because of that CNY game, that any chippiness, any fights, any throwing of hands, automatic ejections, stuff like that. They weren't going to put up with any of the extracurriculars.
Well, what about some of the stuff? And Coach, this is digging in, I guess, a little bit on your, on your official side. There's stuff that may be legal, but is very borderline during the course of the game, and it feels like the gameplay was kind of riding that line. Do you feel like there was something the officials could have done to kind of tamp things down earlier rather than letting it get kind of just continue to? I mean, I guess they did have a couple of ejections already in the first half too. But yeah, I mean, in your to put your your stripes on for a moment here, do you think there was anything that they could have done to kind of tamp down the tempers and the emotions before it got to this level?
Yeah, 100%. And if there's repercussions for this, it is what it is. But coming from a coach and an official, if I tell a coach, hey, if you have any problems or if there's anything suspect during the game, come to me and we could talk about it, you had better uphold that. Okay? There's many times I tried to talk to the white hat, and I kind of got just that cold shoulder. And it's like, okay, like, you're going to let this go? This is what, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble, because at the end of the day, you got a bunch of grown-ass men out there that are not about to let their teammates, their coaches, their team be disrespected in that way. And nobody's just going to sit there and wait to get punched in the mouth. Like, that's not how this game or this life works.
Right.
Well, and that's what I want to ask Brad and Ty. Was there talk between you guys and said, hey, man, if they don't cut this out, we're going to have to do something? I mean, not get physical like that, but, maybe put a little bit more emphasis on your hitting and blocking and stuff like that to hopefully shut them up and get them to know that they're not messing around. So was there talk between you guys as a team to be like, hey, if so-and-so doesn't chill, we need to put I don't want to say dirty hit, but a strong hit on them?
But you want to go first, Brad, or
either one?
No, go ahead, bro.
I mean, so like you said, from that first game, it's already a blemish on our name. People don't know who this team is yet, so we're trying to go out here, reinvent ourselves in a sense, know that we just play football. And when it got, like we said, before the game, it was a bunch of talking pregame. It was already a bunch of talking, so we kind of already started seeing how the energy was going. We're not coming out here to fight. We're still coming to play hard, smash mouth football, and that's kind of what it felt like. It was turning into at first at the beginning of the game. We're both giving blows of hard hitting tackles on both sides of the ball for both teams. And then, like you said, it just gets to that point. We had that ejection in the second quarter, and that's where we had to pull each other to the side. There goes one player right here already. We can't have this again because they're not clearly the referees aren't playing. You're going to be out of here. That's 2 games. You're going to be missing a game. You're going to be missing. So we sat down and just sat there and kept saying with each other, if you get into a fight, we want to take you off the field. Like, if you're on this team on the Wild and Coward, you got to be able to take constructive criticism. If you cannot listen to your teammates, then you're not going to be on this team. If somebody's coming to you telling you you're doing something wrong, you need to sit down and listen to what they're saying. And that's kind of how we were. And we got into the locker room at halftime and we said it. Look what the offense just did. They went out there, scored these last 22 seconds of the quarter. We're getting the ball back. Let's go out there, play football, keep your hands to yourself, just play smart. And instantly, first play, take it back to the crib. The next play, the kickoff to them, we get a flag for a face mask. But then down the field, you watch film. On the film, it shows they got a whole player grabbing Brad right here on the stream, hitting him in his face masking, throwing punches in the middle of the play while we're getting a face mask penalty. And it's just like, it was just there was no control, I feel like, through the referees after that point. And it's just like you said, we're grown men, but it needs to be professional at some point in time. Yeah. When is enough going to be enough? And that whole situation was enough, basically, and it's just
it sounds like malfeasance on the part of the officials, just not nipping things in the bud early, letting things get too emotionally charged. It sounds like they probably should have had some conversations with the coaches' benches after the ejections. What were the ejections for in the second quarter?
It was just wasn't it a shot to the helmet on both players?
In a sense. In football, everybody mushes each other. That's what it really is. And they're seeing that strike to the jaw and from both players.
So Cody, I don't know if what you can say or not say, but can you guys send the office some tapes and be like, hey, the officials were like this all go, they could have stopped it. Had the league investigate the officials on their lack of control of the game?
I mean, I probably could, but like coming from one myself, I've been thinking how I would have handled that situation.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm cut from a different cloth. Yeah, I'm different, honestly, and so I don't put up with any of that fuck shit. I just don't. So I set a standard and I hold it. So I mean, I'm honestly, I bet we could, but let's just be honest. It was a great game. Our offense struggled, and other than Tyree's stop, the QB sneak, and then the kick return. Let's just face it. They had us. They had us until we knocked off that rust and really got going. It just seemed like we were sluggish, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go that far and send tapes for the refs. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, well, and just hearing it, from you and kind of getting more context with it. Obviously, I saw the video. I mean, their coach was unhinged, right? So something to me that says that, like, whether it was what it got to or not, it felt like something was going to happen. And I'm sure it felt like that for you guys on the field and coach for you on the sideline too, where it seemed like the energy in the room was just such that this game's not going to make it to time, right? Like something is going to happen. I don't know if anyone foresees it being, coming from the coaches and starting on the sidelines. I think maybe you thought maybe it would start on the field and spill over the other way. But,
yeah, right. Whose call was it to end the game?
Ahead of time, and it just
the referees left the game.
No, so the call. So I actually have the owner of the league, Terrence Foster. I literally have got to have him on speed dial Now just to, and I called him right away. We were literally still on the field, I had hopped over, swung my leg over. I saw a dude, one of our players, try to get picked up and tried to get suplexed. And then I had got him on the phone. I was explaining the situation because I saw it all. I was like, they're gonna try to cancel this game. At first, he's like, they can't do that. But then, just it wouldn't. It had it continued, it probably 75-80% would have gone south from there. So I don't blame the officials for calling it. But yeah, it was the head official and then the people who own the arena, just thinking of safety for the fans and stuff. It just we at the end of the game we had to be we had to get all of our stuff out of the locker room and get in a group and be escorted out of there. They had the door that we walked out of. Their team bus was right there, like. And then wow. Their team bus is right there, and we got to come out, and we have all of our vehicles parked along this side. So, like Tyree, I rode with you. Our vehicle is
right first one right there in the spot next to it.
It was one of them. Like we get got handled business, got the win. Let's get the hell up out of here.
You guys surprised nothing happened? Did they leave the other team in the locker room until you guys all left, or
no? So it was they let the fans leave first. They wanted to get them out of there, and then they let Cedar Rapids get out to the bus, and that's why they had us waiting, kind of in like our bench area.
Okay, you guys waited. Okay,
all the players could get out onto the bus. And to be honest, I think this is where it's weird. Like even with a lot of the chippiness, like most of the players on their side were like jumping over the wall to try to break it up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think from a player standpoint, like even after the fight broke up, like I went back out onto the field and started dapping it up with some of their guys, like their quarterback, a couple of their receivers, stuff like that, because we all just assumed the game was over at that point. So I don't think there would have been an issue, but obviously you don't want to chance it. You don't know.
It did seem like there was more guys that wanted to play, like you said, as all the stuff was happening, guys like, yeah, we need to just break apart. Let's finish this out. And, you're going to have a few hotheads on each side. And I feel like the collective still wanted to play football, though. And it's just such a shame that we couldn't finish it.
It just sucks. Just because, we're all grown ass men, high emotions, ton of passion for the sport. And it just you're in the moment and you see opposing players coming over the wall, and your first instinct is just who's getting worked first.
Well, yeah, I mean they're jumping right into your safe space. Right? They're jumping right into your sideline where you have young kids, right? Like you got one of your teammates' boys are over there. You're gonna have your guard up a little bit, and then not to mention that it's your space, right?
Is there a rematch? I mean,
so check it out.
I don't be like that there, Bubba.
Check it out. And this is why I'm so blessed and I'm grateful to have the dogs that I do with the smarts that they do. Is disciplinary actions came out. That coach, he's gone for the year.
So there's an opening you're saying on their side for you, Cody, huh? So there's an opening on their side for you for another job, huh?
I like where I'm at right now. 2-0 is a lot better than 1-2. But so they had 8 players suspended total. 7 are suspended for 2 games. 1 is suspended for 1 game. We had 1 player suspended for 1 game, and then we were fined. So all in all, I hope nobody on our team is bitching because we're doing pretty good. Now, with that being said, we play March 28th this weekend And then next April 4th, we play Cedar Rapids.
Ooh.
So those 7 players that got ejected 2 games, when they come to Wyoming, they're going to be down a significant amount of players, damn near a half of the field. Because
Are they able to replace those players or no?
Huh?
Are they able to replace those players or?
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I would assume they would be able to.
If they can find players, I mean.
So I would hope that they had, enough to have some backups. I know the roster is, pretty slim as is. It's not like the 50 plus that you could have in the NFL because it's 8 versus 8. But I mean, I guess we'll see what they do. I guess.
So I would guess that the league's probably going to reach out before that game and try to level head with both teams to make sure this doesn't happen again, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I've told these guys can, testify. I remind them every time. I'm like, hey, man, I mean, don't let 5 seconds or 5 minutes ruin a whole season. We're ranked. We were ranked 17th in the nation, coming down or up 2 spots from 19. And after this one, I'd be shocked if we weren't top 15. And it's just we're on a mission. We got like long-term goals, and we're set on them. So we're not gonna let some 2-minute brawl affect the rest of our season.
Well, yeah, no, you don't need to. So,
no, awesome for you guys. You got that dub, any means possible, and you keep moving on. No suspensions, thank goodness. At a big game this weekend, I'd ask you who you're playing, but who knows? Ty, Brad, appreciate you guys keeping your cool so that we can look forward to some more highlights throughout this season as well. Thanks for coming in and sharing your side of the story. We're going to get into some more Minnesota Vikings. We're going to get into some more Minnesota Vikings talk, and we got to honor another fellow podcaster and media personality who we lost over the weekend as well in the Minnesota scene. Really sad to hear about that, but appreciate you, Ty. Brad, thanks for joining us tonight, fellas. Good luck to you this weekend. I'm sure you got to go watch some tape and get ready for the game.
Hey,
we're
fellas,
about to have a meeting right after this. So, yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Fellas.
Sir.
What's up, Coach?
I'll see you at 10 p.m.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you. Nice. Well, I wanted to take a moment and just I would be remiss if we didn't at least acknowledge the terrible tragedy to the state of hockey, the state of Minnesota, Minnesota sports radio and talk. Jesse Pierce was a force, someone that I tuned into and really looked up to the short amount of time that I've been following her. So our hearts and prayers, obviously, with her family and everyone in the state of Minnesota. I'm sure feeling that one. Just incredibly tragic to wake up to that news the other day.
Yeah. Definitely big prayers, thoughts to the families. The schools that the kids were in, I mean, I don't think there's enough said. I know listening to local radio, they're all kind of not knowing what was going on today because she was supposed to work that Saturday, I think. And then I think they found out like right before game time that it was her. So, I mean, that had to be a hard thing to do. The hockey community definitely has come out. I heard a couple teams, set a nice chunk of change to their GoFundMe page to help out. Just sad tragedy to anybody, not just not because of who she is, but I mean, just to hear that overall, the kids, her, had so much to live for. I know one of the guys on K-Fan said that he wanted to talk to her about a tradition that she does in Woodbury, going to a local ice cream shop the first day of spring, and he was looking forward to talking to her. And of course, it didn't happen. So, that's just tragic news.
Yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to the family. It's a huge loss that not only the Wild community, but the hockey community in general will suffer. She was mainly Minnesota Wild covering the team, but she was also branching out and getting actual NHL exposure and living the dream. And it's just heartbreaking to wake up and hear the news, not only her but 3 kids too, with their whole future ahead of them. It's just a tragedy, and you never want to wish it upon anyone, but damn, she was taken too soon.
Yeah, so just wanted to at least take a minute here. We are a Minnesota, focused and centric. I know that the sports network branches out a little bit, but it was someone who I've watched, and I would never call them competition. I would call them more colleagues, right? Fellow podcasters and sports media personalities. At this point, I think we all kind of think of ourselves that way. So just really, really heartbreaking. So want to always remember fondly the name Jessie Pierce and the state of hockey and everything that she did for the sport and for independent media sports coverage as well. So just tough as a parent, man. I can't even think, as a husband and a father, it's brutal to even think about.
Yeah,
sure is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, moving on, I haven't got to talk about Kyler Murray at all. So
all 5-4 of him. I mean, I've seen so many different memes.
It won't take us long to get through the tail of the tape, B. Don't worry.
Oh man. Yeah, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Before we do that,
and we talked at length about this beforehand, and I still don't. I'm not changing my tune as far as I don't think he's a fit. I don't think he's a fit in KOC's system. But you picked him up for like $1 million. The athletic ability, I think, is worth that. It raises the floor of the QB room. I know they haven't named him the starter yet. I don't think you can. I think you let these guys play it out, right? You let the experienced vet with all the athletic ability and no fucking work ethic play it out against the guy who I think has a lot of that and has a lot of that moxie. And I think this is what we push into that pushes JJ McCarthy even into the best player that he can be. And I don't know his whole career, but it seems like he's definitely been the guy. Anywhere he's gone, he's been the guy, the heir apparent, whatever. And not that he hasn't performed in that way, but he's maybe never had a level of competition like a Kyler Murray. I do not think Kyler is the savior of this franchise. I don't think that. I mean, if he was, you would give him more than the vet minimum, right? Like, there's a reason this guy is floating out there.
He can be the savior, but if you can pay him a bottom dollar, you gotta.
No. But what I'm saying is, Coach, is that if he was the savior, he wouldn't be available for vet.
Facts.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? If he was as good, then there would have been 31 other teams clamoring to have them on their team.
Shit, right? He probably wouldn't have left Arizona if he was that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I just envision, KOC going into the locker room, that scene in draft day where Cosner walks into the other quarterback and he's just like, trade me. He's like, no, I'm not going to trade you. He's like, fine, I'll just beat him out. I could just vision JJ say that, when he got the news that Kyler was coming in, and he's just like, fine, I'll just beat him out. So hopefully it does raise that level, for him and the Vikings.
Yeah, no, I think out of all the potential options, he was the best one that was gonna come in and compete and push JJ McCarthy. It's questionable. Is he going to watch film? Is he going to take it serious, or is he going to be streaming, playing Call of Duty and stuff like that? But I think the bigger thing we got to look at is not only did we get Kyler Murray, but we re-signed Carson Wentz or brought him back. If you got to think, Carson Wentz isn't going to sign that contract and come back to be the backup to the backup. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's definitely, especially after getting the shoulder repaired, you might just be signing a contract to stay on the insurance.
Yeah.
That too, Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers.
It's the Vikings doing him a solid in that, but that third quarterback role, especially with the other rules now that they have, he might never see the field this year anyway, but he's going to get a nice check and to kind of be around and to develop maybe both of these guys, right? To be your in the quarterback room coach. You got another young coach in, we still have McDaniels as not McDaniels, McCown.
Yeah.
As the QB coach, right? Or did he level up?
Nope, he's still there.
Did we still got McCardell? Please tell me we still got McCardell. Keenan McCardell, wide receiver coach.
Let's see here.
Look on that. But I just you never say never with that third quarterback. Never say never, because look what happened in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
Wide receiver coach.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah.
Do you want to run the Pillars of Valor commercial here?
I can. Yeah.
Let's do that.
I figured let's get them in there. I don't want to keep waiting. Last time we did it at the very end. I was like, oh, shoot.
That's all good. They don't pay us anything. This is out of the goodness of our hearts.
TJ Hawkinson, I need tickets. I need tickets.
I just want some coffee.
I got some bags. I'm just too cheap to ship them.
I'll pay for the shipping.
Yes. Keenan McCardell is still the wide receiver coach.
Okay, good.
Quickly, a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here. We're going to address Norspius's comment there and dig into this a little bit more. But first, a word from Pillars of Valor. As we cheer on our Minnesota Vikings, let's also recognize true heroes. Pillars of Valor Coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. It's a veteran-owned company with a powerful mission. With every purchase, you're directly contributing to programs that empower and support veterans and first responders. Imagine starting your day with a rich, bold coffee that also fuels a vital cause. Pillars of Valor Coffee is dedicated to making a tangible impact, honoring those who've served our nation and communities. Join them in their mission. Visit pillarsofvalor.com to learn more and get your bag today. Pillars of Valor Coffee. Great coffee, greater purpose. Back here again. Wanted to address this comment from Norspius. This fan base is insane, though. All kinds of nut hugging going on. I'm okay with an honest competition, but don't trust KOC, the snake oil salesman, not one bit.
I agree and disagree kind of with that comment. We know what KLC can do to rejuvenate veteran quarterbacks. So if we can build a good offensive line, I think we're sitting pretty with Murray. I still want to see what he can do with the young quarterback like McCarthy, like Max. That's something that he has to prove. And again, definitely bring in open competition. I mean, Coach Cody could probably even say, even on his teams, you got 2 quarterbacks. Hey, let them battle it out. You got 4 receivers. Let them battle it out for the starting job. I mean, competition doesn't hurt anybody. I mean, even in our day-to-day job, it doesn't hurt to have a little competition. I mean, you still want to get the job done. You still want quality, and stuff like that. So, I'm kind of like you, Bubba. I'm kind of like, well, we only paid $1 million and some change for Murray. Good deal there. It's a lose-win, I think, or it might even be a win-win. If the Vikings don't do good, they only paid Murray $1 million or $2 million. Vikings start doing good. When do we talk? Do we talk contact?
If Kyler starts and they suck, KOC is done. He's cooked.
Oh yeah, KOC's. I would say that going into this season, KOC is probably on the hot seat, simmering right now. But yeah, if they sputter out, 1-4, 0-5, 1-5, and Murray's not doing good, yeah, KOC's probably on his way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I know I'm just popping in here real quick, but I think it's going to be interesting, the fact that, KOC, Big B, you and I have been talking about this past week, but Bubba, to catch you up, KOC has always been that quarterback whisperer, right? But we found out last year that it was mainly with veteran quarterbacks, right? So it's going to be interesting to see Kyler Murray. It fits that mold, fits that criteria of that veteran-style quarterback. So we'll see if he can turn him around and, have a resurrection year or a Josh Dobbs year or something like that.
To me, where KOC has had success is with guys that were like him, right? That were into the study, that studied more because they didn't have all the physical gifts, right? And now you're getting someone who's the opposite.
Hell yeah.
Getting someone who has ridden their physical gifts this entire time and hasn't studied at all, right? So you're not getting the level of a cerebral player that I think you have in the past. Even a guy like Josh Dobbs, and I think Sam is this guy all over, understands the game at a high level, maybe just doesn't have the tools or the decision making at the end of the day to be that, that top 10 of all time quarterback, right? That guy that you're like, he makes the right decision every time.
Well,
or makes the throws that you just can't believe, right?
Well, that and the fact that, I just, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, but some people make it to a certain point and then they're like, I'm good. I'm golden. But I like and I connect with those people that get to a certain level and they're like, there's always another one that I can get up to, and they stay hungry and stuff like that. And I think Kyler, like you said, born silver spoon in his mouth, given all the abilities, you know what I'm saying? Strong arm, quick as hell, shifty, and can make those plays, but it's like, how long is that how long can you bank on that? Just that, you know what I'm saying?
Until last season.
Right.
Well,
right.
And the thing is, too, is, he's coming into our organization, JJ Jefferson's organization. So, I mean, Jefferson's also going to have to be like, hey, dude, this is how we roll here. Kind of like, Coach, you bring somebody new in that, might be a stud, but hey, you're coming into our system. You're coming into here. You need to learn how we do things, and we'll be good. If you can't, like Ty said, if you're not going to be one of us, then let's ship you out. So,
well, no,
he's never been a quarterback whisperer. Okay, yeah,
and that's 100% Big B. I want to point that out real quick. And Ty's learned them real quick. Ty and Brad, they're quick learners because, I mean, Like, we have our defense set. Okay. Now, throughout the year, especially in arena, there's people getting picked up and signed to higher leagues, and that's our main goal. And so far we've had, out of the 10 players that, or 12 players that are brought to camp, 10 have not only been signed, but have been signed and given a shot to higher leagues after this one's done, and that just makes me happy as hell. But it's the fact that I want I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say is, other than these players need to understand, like, there's more, there's always more, and to stay hungry. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that can be said in our day-to-day jobs. I mean, just because you're in charge doesn't mean there's not stuff to be better at, and stuff like that. I mean, I work at the local casino here, and I always try to do the best I can for my employees, for my department, and nothing's going to slow me down. So,
and I like the re-signing of Carson Wentz, because, I mean, in all honesty, had he not gotten hurt, he probably would have been MVP of that Super Bowl, and not Nick Foles. Let's just be honest. Nick Foles rode that dude's coattails the whole way, had a game of his lifetime, and got Super Bowl MVP. Oh, hold on, let me puke real quick. It's disgusting to me, damn it.
Well, but also too, I think he was on pace to be MVP of the league that year.
Really? He was didn't Murray won MVP, didn't he?
Murray's not been MVP. No.
All right. Well, you got at least a quarterback who's been there and done that, and now you got Murray. Hopefully, he can learn something from the redheaded dude. But like JJ McCarthy, what do you guys think his mindset is right here? Like, all right, they brought in Murray, they brought back in Wentz, and I got my ass benched for Wentz, but I was hurt at the same time.
I mean, yeah, did he get benched or was he hurt? I mean, that's the question. To me, if I'm Murray, or if I'm JJ, I go into the mindset that, okay, they haven't named Murray the starter, they haven't named me the starter, but I've been here. This is my, second year, start as a player. Well, third year technically, but this is my job to lose. I'm going to go out there and put in the extra work and stuff like that, and show that I can be there. I'm going to be the first one through those doors. I'm going to be the last one through those doors, leaving every practice. So that would be my mindset. I hope he comes in here and he's like, "This is my show." I hope that, and I hope that he brings upon a new attitude and forces JJ to grow into that. Like, he ain't taking my shit, and then we get a real battle going.
See, don't you think that JJ is that guy though? Like, just what I mean, so. I take it back to the that game towards the end of the season where he lays the shoulder on the guy and then he's getting in his face. To me, that's not a guy who's just gonna let someone come in who's signed a vet minimum deal, regardless how long they've been in the league, and let that man take his job away from his wife and his family.
No, I don't think he's letting anybody. I mean, maybe outside of Pat Mahomes coming in, but I don't think he's letting anybody take his job.
Well,
I'm just saying that kind of caliber quarterback. I mean, okay, Brady might be another one that if he was still around. But I mean, even if Aaron Rodgers would have came in,
you see Tom playing in the flag football. If they went to flag football, man, Tom might have another decade left.
Yeah.
Him avoid that. He's still got some moves, and he's still got that arm. You're not going to lose that touch, but it's the velocity.
Yeah, he looks more mobile now than he did in his playing days. He's 40 pounds lighter, and
but hey, now that we're on that subject, what was did we lose that game? We meaning like the NFL players?
What game are we talking about?
The flag football one.
No, they won by like 97 combined points or something in the 2 games.
The NFL did?
I thought so, yeah.
I see all the clips that I saw, we were getting at work, and it was embarrassing.
Flag football. Let's see here.
Didn't Logan Paul do that?
Team USA dominated Tom Brady and So 2 days ago, I'm just reading a quick clip here. Flag football classic. Team USA dominated Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, and the other NFL stars.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Hey,
who's Team USA then?
Team USA is a bunch of flag football players, like a bunch of you never know, never will know. You know what I'm saying? But they whooped the shit out of us.
Now they're getting contracts.
Way to go, Joe Burrow. Oh.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad we didn't get him?
I want Mike Vick, but Minnesota's too soft.
Team USA didn't just win; they pure dominated. It scored on every possession in all 3 contests outside of one kneel before halftime. In all, it outscored its opponents 106-44. Yeah.
See, when they said Team USA, I thought we were Team USA.
Yeah, no, I did too. But there's the Team USA flag football, and then they wanted to be like, "Yo, we'll wax all your NFL guys," and they straight did it. So I mean, 2 games in dramatic fashion.
Yeah. So round 1, Team USA versus Wildcat FFC, 39-14. Round 2, Team USA 44, Founders FFC 16, and then it was the Wildcats Founders. It was a 34-26 Wildcat win, and then the championship game was 24-14. Team USA won it. So
all those NFL players that wanted to talk shit on the flag football can just bit the lip. Long story short,
it's a different game, right?
Well, I mean,
one guy like do the splits and fall down through the contact and.
And I mean, you're not just being like see target, hit target. It's hey, I gotta grab this flag, everywhere.
Yeah, not as easy as you may think. For sure.
I can run into a dude and hope he falls, but if I'm trying to grab a flag fluttering on everywhere, I mean, I might as well just tackle the dude in general.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when they becomes an Olympic sport. See how long it stays.
I hope it stays.
It's got legs, man, for sure.
Well, I hope they don't use NFL players right away.
Current players go and play in the Olympics.
Hey, fellas! After this call, I got a business opportunity that we should get into. Hey, the market's like that. The market is like that.
We're starting a flag football semi-pro team.
Let's get into the big guy that the Vikings signed. I was just looking at it or looking him up. I actually know a couple of Buffalo Bill fans at work, and they like the signing for Minnesota. They think we signed him to the right deal. He's going to come in. I'm just trying to find his name offhand.
Are they really your friends at work, and would they really be honest about that contract?
Yeah, I would. One of the guys for sure is straight up. I mean, we talk every day, almost football related stuff. So no, I would say he's 100% with me. So
speaking of that, hey, you just pick a color. What color you want? He messaged me his size. I got you. I
actually, honestly, I like that gold.
Yo, that goes hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got the old logo on it. Like this one's the new one. You feel me?
Okay.
Then, just for everybody, I mean, I got helmet decals, helmet stickers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go, man. Brian Van DeMark. So yeah, and what that's who we signed. So it was a 1-year deal, fully guaranteed, $4.6 million. So at least they're doing some, signings on that offensive line.
Center.
Let's see here. Offensive tackle.
Oh, so right tackle.
Right tackle. Hey, how old is this fool? Where did he go to college? How many years in the league?
He's from UConn. He's 6'6", 307. He's 28. His birthday is, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago.
His birthday.
Swing tackle. Yeah, I would say so. Northfius for sure.
But I mean, what did he say?
Is that official? Northfius Brandel moving to center. I said that was one of the moves that I liked.
We should do that. It would make sense.
Let's see here.
Van DeMark's 5th year in the
league. Blake is listed right now as the starting center.
Wasn't going to be playing time anywhere else.
Awesome. No, I think the offensive line, and I've said this off the bat, I know everybody, was offensive line was a huge need. This is exactly what I thought they would do. You're going to get some vets in here. You might sign another one yet and see who's available right before the season, possibly to bolster that line. But if you just get a 100% healthy Darisaw back, that improves your line by probably 5 ranking spots, right? Like just having your all-pro tackle healthy is going to improve the play of that line. So you add a little bit, you slide Brandel to center. I like that move. Something the guys at Purple Daily talked a lot about. I didn't think they were ever going to go big splash there. They didn't have the money to make a splash at that position, nor were you really in a position to pick there in the draft. So makes a ton of sense to me that they would do that. Any other signings that has happened? Have we signed anybody besides him?
Let me see here. Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, obviously Kyler was the big one.
Signings. Let's see here. Kyler went. Hecker, the punter. Andrew D. Pola agreed to terms. Pace is coming back for a year. Pierce and Thomas both agreed. So yeah, Kyler and DeMark are the 2 outsiders that came in. Hecker, of course, but they're slowly moving into some, getting some players. But I mean, of course, we're not, making big splashes. I mean, when Kyler Murray is your biggest splash right now, I mean. Yeah.
Small pool. Big splash.
Small pool, big splash.
James, stop eating paper. Stop it.
I'd like to see them, bolster the. I'm not a big Jones fan, but I'm not hating on them. But I think they need to make a different move there. I think.
Where?
At running back.
Yeah, well, they let Aaron Jones go, didn't they?
He's still listed on the depth chart, but
I thought that was one they I think they're going to cut him. They had made that intention, trying to restructure Hawk's deal. So obviously no news on that yet. I'm assuming.
Well, they restructured quite a few deals because they ended up going into the offseason or signing $14 million above cap. So we're getting money somewhere.
Well, I think they restructured on Jefferson's deal, didn't they? They kicked him.
And that's the one they had to do, I think, for sure. But
right.
I think Hawkinson wants to restructure just to stay here. So,
Well, good for him. It's probably the only place where he's going to get to play. So a smart business decision as well. I don't think a lot of other teams are reaching for that in a guy at the tail end of his career coming off that big injury, last year and just wasn't the same guy back on the field. I hope we get him back to, 80% of what he was when he was, a top tight end in the league. So much cat hair. My goodness. Just everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing too is, you bolster that offensive line, you can do different things, and the running game will help. And the rumor, and I know kind of Cody's feelings on this one, but Bubba, what's your thoughts that DeAndre Hopkins wants to reunite with Murray in Minnesota here?
Yeah, he can reunite with him all he wants to, but Kyler probably ain't going to be on the field unless JJ's hurt.
Okay.
I think it's the reality, man. I just don't think that a guy that doesn't want to study tape and doesn't want to get in his playbook is going to come in and learn a complicated system in a short amount of time and be ready to be named the day one starter. We're rolling with this guy, because KOC has to know if it looks like trash starting the season, you're done. So as KOC, for me, I'm wanting to put the ball in the guy's hand that has seen this for the last 2.5 years, although he hasn't been able to stay healthy, which is a problem. It's also out of his control. Is he controlling the things that he can? And the fact that you saw a much improved team at the end of the year with JJ McCarthy at the helm tells me that he was picking up the things that were going on in essentially what was his rookie year of being on the field. Taking into account, again, a big part of that injury in his true rookie year, he didn't practice, right? So last year was his first time actually taking reps in practice and learning to that way. And now you put a little pressure behind him. This is where you make a stud and you make a star out of JJ McCarthy. And I think the young man has it in him. I don't think that he's some kind of bust. I don't think that he is. The kid's been nothing but a champion his entire career. You don't get to that level and play with those. It's not luck, right? We
could definitely count on our hands how many first-round draft picks have flopped that it looks like, we thought they were good. You don't get there without being a competitor, without being a winner, and stuff like that. And, again, JJ's still young. He's what, 22, 23, going on 24?
Just be turned 23 when he starts.
Yeah. JJ under center, no reliability.
Yeah, 23 different O-line combinations.
Yeah. Hold on. Half our dudes had concussions like 3 or 4 times a year. Let's be realistic here before we put that out. It might be true, but let's just.
Well, and that's the whole thing is you got to have a solid offensive line. 23 combinations. We can look at any sport like basketball, baseball. If you have, 100 different lineups into your season.
I don't see how any quarterback is successul with that amount of revolving door.
No.
Offensive line. Nothing's working properly.
You got to earn that trust. You got to know your guys are going to be there. You got to know how they block and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Not just even from a quarterback or running back standpoint, your offensive linemen need to know where the guy next to him is going to be and can trust that blindly. So I don't think we got a fair look at who JJ McCarthy is as a player last year. I think people jumped to a lot of conclusions. And I think a lot of them are going to be wrong. And I may be wrong, right? I'm not
we all may be wrong.
MVP.
But we also heard, too, that quarterbacks typically take a year and a half to understand the football side of things for the NFL.
Yeah.
McCarthy's only played, 9 games? So give him next year. Right. So stuff like that. But again, we've already talked about it. KLC is going into the season on the hot seat because if he starts off, 0 whatever or 1 or whatever, the firing chants are going to start coming.
Yeah, and I would argue that Joe Burrow hasn't done it without an O-line. He ends up hurt every year because he's getting murdered behind the line. So
Exactly.
did he have that 1 or 2 years where they made the playoffs, right? They made the AFC Championship game and lost 1 year, and then they made it to a Super Bowl like the following year. But
I mean, the only thing that Burrow has that I think would be a factor is he's beaten. I think he owns a winning record against Mahomes. I think he owns a winning record against Allen. So he's beaten technically the 2 biggest quarterbacks in the league. So, I mean, I think that's why everybody wants him, is because he's shown that he can step up in big games like that. Outside Joe Burrow, I can't think of many.
So exactly. He can look good, but he's never going to reach that level, that championship level, without an offensive line out there. It's really hard.
I mean, we could talk about Seattle. I mean, look at their offensive line compared to other offensive lines and how Sam Darnold did. And heck, look at what JSN just got paid because of what they did and what he did. And so it shows that,
That's such a scam. That's such a no. Hey, for all you
have 1 good year on a contract year, you're going to get paid.
No, that's totally fine. But it's the aftermath of it. For all you younger folks out there, I just want to point this out. What was his contract? Like 40, 50 million, but after taxes, he's getting 21. Fuck all that. I don't care. You gotta move. You gotta put your residency in like Idaho and do something.
Yeah, man, I would not want to play in a liberal city in a liberal state. That's
that's what they say. A lot of people, sport players don't want to come to Minnesota because the taxes are so high.
If you think about these assholes, you think I'm gonna work my ass off and dedicate my life to this sport that I have love for, deep love for, and passion for you to take over half of my fucking earnings? You can get licked. I don't care who you are. You can get.
But that's the thing too is they only they got to pay in Seattle, but you also have to pay taxes because you worked in Minnesota. You work everywhere you got to go. You got to pay the taxes out there.
You got to pay income tax in every state that you play in.
Every state.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why I'm just like, yo, whoever made up these rules, right in your face, man.
And that's just like comedians and entertainers. They gotta, have good accountants that they gotta pay all these players. Tell me how can JJ
don't pay taxes? That's what we should all do. No taxation without representation, or
you feel me? Like, I just want these players to realize, like, yeah, hey, he might be the highest paid player right now at his position, but you gotta dig deeper than that shit. You gotta dig deeper than that, because this dude is getting it right up the rear end. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Over half of your millions are done. I'm smacking.
Just think of the lucky one that wins the Powerball on how much money they actually walk away with. I mean,
while we're on that, I take the lump sum and get the hell out of there.
Well, yeah, because you're young enough. I mean, a guy like me and almost hitting 50, I think I'd probably take the lump sum now, but I think if I'm back, 18 to 21, I think I'm just taking the yearly payout just because then I have cash all the time and just kind of. They
would find a way to take that from you without having to pay it all out. Don't worry.
Hey, look at that dude. That dude in I think Michigan. He just got out of prison for not telling them where the gold from some shipwreck was. That dude. I ain't telling you nothing. I swear my damn time. You feel me?
Yeah.
I ain't telling you shit.
Norspius asks, so tell me how JJ could become what he could be. For me,
an offensive line.
Looking at, it's a big start, a running game. It is. I
mean, that's the whole thing is going back to old school football philosophy. The running game sets up the passing game. The passing sets up the run game. And what's the common factor in that? The offensive line is there to block and open up holes.
That makes me wonder.
Tell me how JJ could become what he could be. He could finish out under his 4th year here on his rookie contract, and then go take Sam Darnold's job in Seattle and go be a Super Bowl champion behind that team. Because that's literally how you win football games.
It would also help if he had a number 2 receiver with his head out of his ass.
Yeah. Hey, do you think they're able to move him?
I'm just being honest. Like,
are they able to move him? Of course. Is any team willing to take him? That's the question.
Well, I think there's gotta be a team out there willing to take him because of athletic ability, but it's we're not gonna give him away for nothing.
Well, no, we're not gonna give him away for nothing.
I'm not gonna give him
says, take that money. These lottery companies fold over constantly to forego paying out the yearly.
Yeah,
take that money.
Yes, you take that money, you take about 3/4 of it, you buy some rental properties, then you invest the rest of it. Hey, after this call, I told you I got this plan. Trust me.
But
so,
I mean,
we said this, right? If Addison's not suspended for his games, you win one more and you're in the playoffs, right?
You win one more, you don't stop. You stop the Bears from making that return. I mean the whole season. I mean that's the thing about sports. The ball bounces one way or the other. You know.
Yeah, but that's a luck thing.
Yeah.
This was just a.
Oh yeah, I mean.
You know,
we definitely could say that in a lot of scenarios, you know.
Hold on, fellas. I'll be right back. I got to check the ribs.
All right. Did you say check ribs? I mean, why did I get invited for that? I mean,
you're right. I know why I don't get invited.
To run the damn ball, and
you're right down the street.
Yeah, and pass. Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's one thing. And Bubba, I think you said it too. KLC doesn't want to run the ball. I mean, we need to run the ball to set up the pass. I mean, we need the pass to set up the run. So they got to find a happy medium. You know, I think we got the team to do it. The offensive line, you know, looks to be coming together. Can they hold it together? Is going to be another question. I mean, you said it too. You know, 4 years. You know, when his contract's up, where is he going to go? I mean, what are the odds that we lose another quarterback young enough? And I know Sam Darnold's been around, but goes to another team in the first year, leads them right to the Super Bowl. I mean, what are the odds of that happening? You know, and if KLC is here and that does happen, then you definitely got to talk about, like, what's going on.
Firing his ass right away.
Yeah.
What are your guys' biggest miss outs in free agency? The guy you wish we got? Now we're pretty realist here at the show and at the network. We knew we didn't have any money, so I don't think any of us really set our sights in free agency on any one player that was going to be available, because free agency is expensive, man. It's not the way to build a team. But anybody on your short list?
If we had the money, like you said, we didn't have money going into free agency, so a lot of big names. If we had the money, I would have went after Walker the third. Definitely. Next choice probably would have been to go after one of the big defensive players, Cosby or Trey, to bring them in. But yeah, we didn't have the money, so it's just like, okay, let the first wave go by. Let's see who we get. You know, with that being said, I mean, Kyler Murray, I mean, Cody said it. You said it. I've said it. Kyler Murray is probably the best option for what it cost. But yeah, if we had the money, I mean, I definitely would have. My first option would have been, you know, once I heard Walker was not getting re-signed, I would have thrown what I can at him to bring him into town here.
Yeah, well, and that draws us back to KOC doesn't want to run the ball, so you don't want to see him make any play and dedicate any resources to a running back. Just crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean,
hey,
the option. Oh my God, the
hey,
Vikings.
I'm not gonna claim that we have a brain. We just kind of address things a lot more from a real point.
You know, and that's one thing a lot of teams are facing is all this dead cap. I mean, you know, a lot of people are now saying that, yes, you know, so-and-so just signed a 5-year deal, X amount of millions, but realistically, most of those contracts, the first or second year, they can readjust. They can trade them and not have that dead cap, space. I mean, and then if you're a team like Miami that wants to eat up $99 million to ship your quarterback to Atlanta, I mean, why not? No on K9 draft. Well, I get it. Love's the only running back out. I should say that. Love is one of the running backs I want. I want that other kid that was from Minnesota that was playing pretty good. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
in Nebraska, the Nebraska kid.
But how can you not, Norbius, and your opinion matters. I don't know how you can't say no to K9 after what he did in the Super Bowl and stuff like that. I mean, him and Mason together, I think, would be a phenomenal tandem if we had an offensive line.
Talking about Kenneth Walker?
Yeah. We're talking about if we had the money, who would have been our guy. Yes, there you go. Emmett Johnson, my dream of the draft also. Yeah. But,
we need somebody that can do the dirty work. We got a lot of flashy players on this team. You have
we need somebody like Leroy Horde.
We need role players. We need guys that can get in and do their jobs.
What's that, Cody?
I want like a Steve Smith in that wide receiver room to go up Jordan Addison's head and just hey, get it together.
Yeah.
You want to send somebody from Cedar Rapids or
Hey, now you're gonna get me in trouble. Now you're gonna get me in trouble. You
no, but I mean, you talk about a ground and pound game. I mean, I always loved a guy like Leroy Horde because you knew he was good for a yard or two and nothing more. And he even made that comment to himself. I mean, or made the comment, "Hey, can you get us? How many yards can you get us?" He goes like 3. So, can you see people?
Rest in peace.
Oh, I mean, who knows?
Wait, isn't that the center from the Timberwolves that passed away? Am I tripping?
No.
Vlad Pekovic?
Hold on here.
Yo,
no, I don't think you're.
That last name don't ring a bell. Number 14 from Serbia, looking like this: one eye that way, one eye that way.
He's not passed away.
Latrell, I'm not thinking.
No, you're thinking of I know who you're thinking of too.
Like big old Serbian dude before Jokic.
Oh no, that's not who I'm thinking of.
Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping now.
He is tripping. They took one too many shots on that sideline.
It was Christian Brothers. It was Christian Brothers. We're all good.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
No, he is not. Latrell Sprewell? No, okay. No, he is not. Malik Sealy, maybe, but Latrell Sprewell is still with us. That's crazy work. Anyway. That's crazy work.
It says draft. Spending too much on free agents is how we
draft.
No doubt.
Honestly, I think that Timoney is going to fall to
bolster the team that you have drafted already. You can't build a team through free agency. It's just not in this day and age because nobody's worth the contract that they signed 2 years down the road, right? The same will be true of JSN, man. Like it doesn't matter how good he plays, he's not going to be worth the money that you had to pay him this year.
No.
Who was that Colts wide receiver who just got a payday?
Pierce.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Decent, but just because he's considered one of the maybe top 5, top 10 wide receivers in the free agency, and because free agency and all that money keeps on flowing, this dude's making stupid money for absolutely nothing. Let me find a barrel I can scrape the bottom of and find a better wide receiver than him. Like that.
Well, and that's the thing is they gave Danny Dimes the transitional tag, so he's going to get paid big time. And then everybody's like, well, the Colts are going to let Pierce walk, and then they signed him to a pretty decent contract. So
two of their players just took out about 7 years of their free agent money.
Yeah. Well,
good move.
Like I said, it could be like the Dolphins who are eating $99 million that they can't do nothing with.
Yeah, they put themselves in that situation as well.
Thank you. If you honestly thought Tua was worth any of that, you gotta either get your eyes tested or just put down because he ain't worth nothing of that.
I don't think he's worth it. I think those concussions really got to him.
Yeah, I don't think he was that good to begin with, but I think the market, because there's only 32 guys that get that starting position, right? So there's maybe 45 quarterbacks that are really worth a starting job. I would say maybe half of your backups that are in the league could be starters if they were on a different team, right? Take a San Francisco. You got Brock Purdy. And you have the guy that everybody wanted here in Minnesota,
Mac Jones.
So you have maybe 45 guys that can do the job. And if you're a middle of the road team, you're kind of stuck, right? Like you're not going to be able to sign a free agent quarterback because they just don't come available if they're good. If they do come available, they cost way too much money.
Nope.
So you end up giving a pile of money to a guy that you're putting those dolphin colored glasses on, right? Or those purple colored glasses or those whatever fucking color your team is. You're having to look at it. And that's the reality of this business, right?
And that's just reality of sports in general. I mean, you go and I bring it up all the time is I would make a team from the 80s and 90s and put up against any of these modern day teams, and I would almost guarantee that I'm winning, 9 out of 10 times.
The difference there is that you got different athletes now and a different set of rules they play by. So if you're putting any of these players back in 1990s football rules, without all the protections that they're getting.
They're getting crushed.
Yeah, I would say there too. But if you put somebody from the 90s out there, the level of athlete is just different breed, right?
I'm just gonna say this because so I could get drafted into the NFL. Let's just play this scenario out. I get drafted into the NFL as a DB. I'm special teams and fighting for a nickel spot my first year.
Like physically fighting or
no, not physically. But just playing for a spot and say I was a higher draft pick, I'm not offered that fourth or that fifth round option. And I have an opportunity to go to a team. If I'm that player mediocre, I could honestly look at the year after me, the free agent list, and be like, where do I rank? Where do I think I rank? Could I bet on myself? That's where them betting on yourself comes in. And just because you bet on yourself and you had one good year or something like that, you could go from that, not getting that fifth year option to, considered top 5, top 10 in your position, and then you're fucking getting paid for no good reason. These dinks, I'm telling you what, these people are pissing me off.
Well, and that's the whole thing is, the contracts are going up. What else is going up? Oh, ticket prices could go to everything. I mean, so it's hard to go anywhere. So, that's the owners, though. I mean, and then the owners are complaining that the players are getting paid too much. Here comes the strike season. I mean, baseball's facing that this year, that this is probably the last year of baseball because owners are going to strike, because players are going to strike. So,
well, that they don't do the extra stuff. I mean, at least the NFL's like, we get billions of dollars, but at least we help out little Timmy at the Make-A-Wish. You know,
well, baseball does that too, but I mean,
when you ever, I have never once seen one commercial about one Make-A-Wish for the MLB.
Well, yeah, you're probably right on that. I probably would have to look deep inside the
archive. Yeah. You look inside them archives.
I mean, definitely the NFL promotes that they are doing stuff like that.
WNBA. Oh my God, them mofos. They are in for it. Oh man. And here I am trying to I'm glad you brought that up. Yo, that business proposal I was talking to you about early in the show. This 86.
Oh, it was. You would have been better off with the semi-pro flag football.
I still want to hear about it afterwards. I still want
those go for these days. Couple of grand.
All I'm saying is let's get into that flag football, women's flag football.
Oh, now we're talking.
And let's
now we're talking.
Let's get it on TV. I'm already getting an investment on a semi-pro professional women's league volleyball. You already know what's up. I'm not dumb. Ain't no dummy. No dummy here.
Well, and that's the thing too is
is that a trash can, Norspius? What are we looking at?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's really hard to make really hard to make uncompetitive, unexciting sports sellable.
I don't know. Have you watched the cornhole game? No, I'm just kidding.
It's exciting though.
Well, I tell you, the Olympics, I mean, we talked about before being in Minnesota, it seems like curling is the big thing here besides hockey. It's like every Olympics, you always hear curling and stuff like that. I watch it every time I see it, and it's not exciting. It's just like, okay, how are they going to hit this stone with that stone to get the point? And, so.
All right, Coach, I know you got a meeting at 10. Final thoughts before we clock off for today.
I mean, all in all, just recapping the show, it was, it was a good win for my Wyoming Cavalry. We're 2-0 on the season, 1-0 in the regular season, and, looking to become top 15, maybe top 10 ranked in the nation. Unfortunate events towards the end of the game, but, it is what it is. I'm excited about Kyler Murray. It's about damn time that we get a somewhat electric quarterback. Last time we did this for the Vikings, I would say was Donovan McNabb, and that was an extreme disappointment, to say the least. I'm excited about this.
Well, McNabb.
I mean, we have better.
Over Favre and Cunningham? I mean,
was trash. I feel like he was trash when he got here. First game, he threw 6? That's neither here nor there. I feel good about the offensive lineman signing. Message for players, younger players: be versatile. Don't be, strong-headed, heavy-headed, and be like, no, I'm only playing this one position. If a coach puts you somewhere other than what you're comfortable playing, shut up and play it. Because now, hey, Blake Brandel probably would have been kicked off the damn team, but just because he's versatile, we were able to move him over to center. Smart man, Blake.
Yeah, he's going to be a contributor, and who knows what that turns into for him in his career.
He'll make
to go to being a starter on the field, talking about a substantial pay increase should you continue to play at a high level. So shout out to Blake Brandel. I think he's going to do bunch. Hey, you know what? He's on the team, Norspius. So it is what it is. I still think he raises the floor of the quarterback room compared to what we had last year. And you had no money. You had no money to spend. So this was like the best possible scenario. This is the best possible scenario. Could you imagine if Kyler wasn't available at a league vet minimum what we're doing at the quarterback position. Like this is
we're probably signing to
Smith, baby. Now how you feel? Now how you feel?
Yeah, what did Gino end up getting paid?
Too much, that's for sure. Sorry, Gino. Love you.
We might have went out and got another overpaid quarterback. The kid that signed in Miami. Willis.
Willis signed in Miami, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is at least.
How did you not make it to the NFL, man? You could have cashed a fat check, been just a scrub.
All I'm saying is at least with Murray, you have that ability for him to extend the plays, and I'm telling you, it is hard for a cornerback to cover more than 3-4 seconds. I'm telling you right now. And
I think we got that with JJ. He just got to learn. So I am only happy Murray because he saves me from yeah.
Straight up. If any of you want a Kirko Chains, you can just 86 me off my friends list or off your friends list. Like that asshole so money hungry. What a prick.
Yeah, he had to get his, man. It was his only shot at it. Enjoy the money.
In a row.
Enjoy the money. But we don't want you back here. I think we're good. Obviously, a lot more to talk about. We'll get into a lot more draft coverage here as we move forward over the next couple of weeks. And
I got an announcement to make when you're done.
All right. Go ahead.
So our next game this Saturday for the Wyoming Cavalry, we'll be taking off on Friday, just to fly over and travel to get there. But our game was supposed to be against the North Michigan Muskies. Switched to the Texas Herd, and now it's switched to back to the North Michigan Muskies. So, I mean, either way, we're looking to go 3-0. It shouldn't be too hard. We just got to play our game and come out there and, not play down to the competition. I'm not scared one bit. Go Cavs, 3-0, baby.
There you go.
Hey, appreciate you, Token. Thanks for tuning in, man. We appreciate you coming in, talking ball with us. We do this every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Norsevius, appreciate you being here. Always playing, man, and it's always fun. Always fun having you here. We'll have to get you back on the show here soon. Yeah. Tonight was a busy one with me just getting off a tour and Coach taking part in the Royal Rumble last weekend. So, but Coach, I know you got a meeting with your players here in 5 minutes. So appreciate you guys. Good to see y'all again. B, stick around. We're going to talk some 7, 8, 9 and get some plans laid for the future here. But this is Bubba Startz signing off for Coach Cody and Big B. You've been watching Vikings United. We'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. every single week. Go Cavs.
Yeah.
As we cheer on our Minnesota Vikings, let's also recognize true heroes. Pillars of Valor Coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. It's a veteran-owned company with a powerful mission. With every purchase, you're directly contributing to programs that empower and support veterans and first responders. Imagine starting your day with a rich, bold coffee that also fuels a vital cause. Pillars of Valor Coffee is dedicated to making a tangible impact, honoring those who've served our nation and communities. Join them in their mission. Visit pillarsofvalor.com to learn more and get your bag today. Pillars of Valor Coffee. Great coffee, greater purpose.